Thank you very much, everyone. Our country is in the midst of a great national trial, unlike any we have ever faced before. You all see it. You see it probably better than most. We're at war with a deadly virus. Success in this fight will require the full, absolute measure of our collective strength, love, and devotion. Very important. Each of us has the power, through our own choices and actions, to save American lives and rescue the most vulnerable among us. That's why we really have to do what we all know is right. Every citizen is being called upon to make sacrifices. Every business is being asked to fulfill its patriotic duty. Every community is making fundamental changes to how we live, work, and interact each and every day. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this going on long into the future when this virus is gone and defeated. Some of the things we're doing now will be very good practice for the future, including for not getting the flu, which is very devastating also. So some of what we're learning now will live on into the future. I really believe that. Shaking hands or not shaking hands, washing hands all the time, staying a little apart. 15 days ago, we published our nationwide guidelines to slow the spread of the virus. On Sunday, I announced that this campaign will be extended until April 30th.
I was down here last week, and it was a big show put on where all the people supposed to be getting tested, and a big mad show. People look at the testing centres. This is what they're telling you testing is going on in. Where's the testing? They're empty. They're abandoned people. There is no testing going on. Wake up, people. Wake bloody well up. Where's the testing? Where is it? The show that's getting put on for you. Leo and Coveney and Simon will be down out for the photo op soon and have loads of people with masks letting on to be coming in to get tested. Look, do we? There is no bloody testing. Wake up, people. Right down to the end, look. There is no testing going on in these tents.
Bonjour. C'est ici pour tester, c'est ça? Ok. Il n'y a pas grand monde, hein? Ok, c'est bon signe, ça? Ouais. Ok, merci.
Corona is a term that most people have heard of in the power industry, but not everybody knows what it is. Simply stated, it's the breakdown or energizing of the air around the conductor. Utility companies try to reduce corona because it causes audible noises and radio interference, and it's also damaging to the conductors and hardware. Corona is worse around sharp edges, like what you find around the end of suspension and dead-end hardware, and where there's nicks and scrapes. This intensifies the electric field around these sharp edges, creating more corona. To reduce corona, utility companies use corona rings. They have a smooth, round surface that reduces the electric field, creating less corona. Here's some footage from a camera specially designed to detect corona. All the white spots you see are corona, but it's more concentrated in certain areas. These are areas of concern that will need to be addressed. You may have noticed that during wet and humid conditions, the buzzing sound heard around transmission lines is louder. This is moisture collecting on the conductors, creating irregularities that increases the corona. You may have noticed that birds rarely land on transmission lines. This is because the corona irritates their feet, making it uncomfortable to land on the line. Also, this is why workers doing live line barehand work use a wand to bond onto the conductor as well. Hopefully this sheds some light on what corona is and why we use corona rings. If you have any questions about corona, contact your engineering department.
Meet Project AirGig. We found a way to send multi-gigabit speeds using infrastructure you see every day, power lines. We can enable ultra-fast connections nearly anywhere, in a big city, rural town, in the US, or around the world. What you see looks simple. What it does isn't. This isn't your parents' telephone company. This is the future, and it's closer than you might think.
E drona, mama. Emi, vezi? Ne spuneți noi ieșim afară.
Vedi, bisogna scappa. Vita dele.
This chart here points out the difference between New York and New Jersey alleged coronavirus numbers and all the other states. Let me show it to you again. So what we have here is two abnormal curves, and everybody else is normal. What's the difference? Zionist control of the state government and of the port authorities of New York and New Jersey. Same, 9/11. The president has promised he will do disclosure on 9/11. I believe he'll also do disclosure on the Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Mossad, Zionist Israel, pedophilia entrapment network at some point. There are three options for why the New York and New Jersey curves are so different from all the other states. Option number one is they're doing a massive medical simulation and they're lying to everyone. That's what all of the citizen journalists are saying. They're going around to hospitals, they're going around to morgues, they're not finding what is alleged to be happening. In fact, we have one major media network that has been caught showing an Italian hospital pretending it was an American hospital. Option B, the Zionists, or some other party, but I think we can start with the Zionists, are infecting more people with deliberate biological drops in areas that they control. I kind of discount that right now. Option C, the governments of New York and New Jersey, and particularly the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey and the mayor of New York City, are incompetent beyond normal. I see some value in that, but I tend to discount it. We had Chris Christie as a tremendous governor in New Jersey. I think option A is my choice. I'm going to post this at Phi Beta Iota together with the film. God bless all of you. God bless America. And God bless the President of the United States of America.
Truth is not easy to find. However, it's much easier to find the truth now than it's ever been. We're in an unprecedented renaissance of truth-telling information coming out to the public. And that's where you come in. I really want you to understand how empowered you are to be able to rock the truth, get it out there. I'm giving you tools that you can turn around and use to build your own following, follow up with your own leads of research to take this thing to the next level. That's what I want. I want you to be fully empowered and informed with the truth. Nobody knows yet because it's still secret, unless you go and you look at sources like QAnon, which is clearly proven that it's coming from the US administration. You have to be a total idiot not to see that QAnon is the US presidential administration. They're making it so obvious, and I don't mean to insult you. I'm sorry if I called you an idiot, okay? But it's really easy to figure out. They've done so many things that are so easy to figure out. And all I want to know is, when are you guys going to say that you were responsible for this? When do we get the truth? Well, it appears that it happens very soon, okay? So, this is the big question. We have had so many versions of this question. Oh my God. How does 5G fit into everything that is happening right now? Isn't 5G more of our concern than the coronavirus? And is this all a big distraction so they could roll out 5G during the 3 days? Okay, Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Full confession. When I was with Pete Peterson and we were working together, I met the guys who were allowed to bring out 5G. They lived in Idaho. They were the people who were authorized to bring this thing out. At the time, the original version of 5G was called air fiber. And I met them, I would say, maybe in 2010, 2011. Back then, I was really excited about it because I saw a speed test that they did of not even a full version of the system, but a less version of the system, and it was 100 megabits per second. And I said, wow, that's really fast. Now, they were telling me about how it works, and I had a briefing with them. I was sitting in the room with them as they were telling me about this, that it was going to go over millimeter wave, which is not even regulated at the time, wasn't regulated by the FCC, very high speed frequency. Now, I asked these guys, if you're going to roll out something like this, you have to have the health considerations kept in mind. Is this thing dangerous to biological life? They told me no. And I asked them, well, you need the proof. If you're going to come out with this thing, you got to tell people scientific proof. You got to have studies that show that it has been tested and that it's safe. Now, they didn't have that information, but they said that it was. They also let me know in a roundabout way that this was already something they had on the inside and they were being kind of more or less allowed to bring it out. So I heard all this way back when, and now the 5G is coming out. Now, there have been a number of things that have been released into the public consciousness very recently, including recordings. There's one recording of a guy who has some kind of an English accent, I believe. And he doesn't say his name, and he said he worked for Vodafone, but he doesn't give a whole lot of information, and then he immediately goes into this whole elaborate, wild conspiracy theory about 5G. Now, I'm not trying to throw shade on this guy. Maybe he's real, okay? But it sounds too good, okay? Because what is he saying? He's saying that the real reason why people are dying from the alleged coronavirus is because they're turning on 5G. And he's saying, oh, Wuhan got outfitted with 5G and they turned it on and that's why everybody's dying. Well, wait a minute. If that's true, then why have all the cases dropped off? In other words, if 5G is what is causing this, how did the epidemiologist who won the 2013 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Michael Levitt, how was he able to calculate the number of coronavirus deaths down to 5? How did he do that? And why is it following all the standard curves of a pandemic? Because it's not 5G, okay? And this is just, again, logic. It's simple logic. So you have to understand the deep state loves, now I don't know if that's what this guy is, and maybe there's something to the 5G thing. I'm not saying there isn't, okay? But I always look deeper. I always ask questions. I'm not content with the official explanation. And I'm always suspicious when somebody just pops up and they sound really smooth, but they're trying to pivot everybody away from coronavirus. So 5G could be a way in this case to get people's attention away from the coronavirus now that the deep state knows that it's going to be exposed as actually being man-made, highly contagious, and it's definitely real. Is it possible that 5G could piggyback on this virus to make it worse? Yes, that's possible. I'm not saying it isn't.
This is this tweet that I found with this guy. But then this guy responded to it and he's saying, check this out. And this is on the, I guess the one of the British pounds. Is that what this is? But he said, so anyway, it shows on the money, it looks like, could be the coronavirus, and then below it looks like something related to 5G. So, I mean, there's definitely some weird connection with the 5G. You know, we can't say for sure that's what it's causing it, but